I'm an apprentice chef. My mission for the next few years is to learn how to make nutrient-dense food that tastes good. I want to learn the best method to get the best taste, the best seasoning, the most intensity of flavor. I want to learn how to not dilute things. I want to learn a variety of dishes, and I want to learn how to teach it to you. So my mission is to encourage people to cook at home, to use proper ingredients, sustainable ingredients, and to use, farm fresh food. You think grass-fed, grass-finished, no antibiotics, no hormones, humanely raised, all of that sort of thing. That is my mission, and that's what I want to encourage other people to do. This recipe has most of the vitamins and nutrients you need. It's missing vitamin D, and it is missing calcium and chromium and molybdenum and iodine, but you can add iodized salt if you want. But that's not the point. The idea is that you're getting a lot of nutrients out of this meal. It's not a one-all, be-all, fix-all. That's not the point. It's to encourage you to make foods that can actually hit those nutrient requirements so that you can start feeling better and more alive. If you look at the store-bought version of the Bolognese, you'll see a bunch of ingredients that don't need to be in there. And it's the same with every other food that you go to buy, butter chicken, biryani, anything. It's gonna have these weird ingredients that are there to act as processing aids and preservatives and flavor enhancers that don't need to be there if you know how to cook it properly. So let's make cooking easy together. So here is our recipe. You don't have to follow this exactly because it's really more of an idea, but I'm going to guide you to how I like it personally and the lessons I've learned along the way. So I like my carrot and my celery and my onion to be finely diced or grated, but you can have it chunky if you want, it doesn't matter. I'm going to slice one side off, flip it over, cut it into slices, and then run through those slices with my knife, like so. And I'm going to do the exact same with the celery. Into slices, run through those slices. Cut it as big or as small as you want. Very similar with the onion. In half, in slices, run through those slices. As finely or as large as you want. To make it easier, I've just put them all in a bowl and they're all the same size, so that's pretty much what we're after. In a large pan, put it on the highest heat that you can and put some olive oil in the pan. And a little bit of butter if you like. As you can see, when I add the butter, I take it off the heat so it doesn't boil. We have 2 kilograms of mince for this recipe, but if you're using less, you don't need to cook it in batches, but I am going to cook it in batches so that it cooks quicker and I get an even caramelization. When you're breaking up your mince, let it get crispy first before you go super heavy on the breaking up process, because this process takes a long time. We're waiting for the water content to be removed, and we're waiting for the skin of the mince to caramelize and crisp up and turn from grey to brown. As you can see, there's no water. So now that it's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan, I know that my mince is ready, and I'm going to take it out and set it aside for our next batch to go in. So if you're only doing one batch of mince, you can put your veggies on at the same time. But since I'm doing 2, I'm putting my veggies on now that I've started my second batch. And it's the same idea here. As high a heat as you can get it, crisp the vegetables up, remove the water content, and then we're going to add them into our pan that has that fond to get more flavor out of them and crisp them up a bit more. And when they're cooked, they're cooked. And once our vegetables and mince have been cooked out thoroughly, put them in a pot that you can put in the oven. Now, wine is completely optional. It just gives the beef a nice sweet taste once you cook it out. If you are going to add wine, let it cook out for 10 minutes or so until you can taste it, the beef and the vegetables, and it's not a bitter taste, it's a sweet taste. So now it's time for our seasoning. Just put all of the seasoning over the top in a heavy surface coating and mix it through. Give it a taste and see if it needs anything else or more of anything that you've already put in. With this dish in particular, it's very easy to do it many times, add seasoning, add more or less of something, and see what each component actually adds. So for example, the basil gives a sweetness. The oregano dries it out, makes it a bit more well-rounded. There's lots of things like that you'll learn after making this dish many times. I think it's important to mention that when you add your tomatoes, don't just let them sit there. Cook them out a little bit, brown them a little bit. It intensifies the flavor. Adding garlic powder to a sauce like this is really good. It actually penetrates in the liquid and permeates through the sauce in a way that adding regular garlic won't. That's why I'm choosing to add it here. You got to keep in mind, our sauce is going to be sitting in the oven for a long time, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. So it's going to reduce down a lot. So add more liquid than you think. You want it to cover the mince, essentially. Just get a load of it. I mean, look at it. It's delicious.
Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.